thing happens once again. Stephanie White sabotaging Caitlin Clark for Kelsey Mitchell. Caitlin Clark's got 17 in the third quarter. It's about a minute and a half left. Caitlin Clark gets subbed out the game.
That's the exact moment this game turned into something bigger than a normal Fever win. Caitlin Clark had just dropped 17 points in the third quarter alone. Then came a call nobody saw coming. With about 90 seconds left in the period, she was pulled to the bench. Indiana still won. That's not in question. What is in question is why the player running the show got sat down at that exact moment. And it gets even more interesting once you see what happened next.
The Dallas Wings, 20th career game with 20-plus points and 10-plus assists. No other player in WNBA history has more than 10. No other player in the history got more than 10.
Now let's talk about the number that makes this whole night stand out. Per this breakdown, Clark just picked up her 20th career game with 20 points and 10 assists, the most such games in WNBA history. But that stat alone doesn't tell the full story. What stood out wasn't just the scoring. It was how much offense she created without needing the ball on every single play. She closed the night with 29 points, 10 assists, and shot 11 for 18 from the floor. That's not just piling up points. That's efficient scoring paired with elite playmaking. And here's the kicker. Dig into the box score, and it gets even wilder, because several passes that should have been easy assists just didn't fall.
Your ass need to get off of podcasting and learn how to go make some damn layups. Go relearn how to make layups. All of y'all, Caitlin Clark had 10 assists blown on missed layups. Kelsey Mitchell missed three layups. That would have been Caitlin Clark assists. Lexi Hall smoked one. Lexi Hall missed the layup so bad it bounced off the backboard and damn near landed at half court. Sophie Cunningham blew one. Michaela Simpson blew about 3. Aaliyah Boston misses Kelsey Mitchell for MVP. Kelsey Mitchell. Kelsey make a layup. Kelsey Mitchell.
Here's where things get interesting. Multiple missed layups were on the table too. Shots from Kelsey Mitchell, Lexi Hall, Sophie Cunningham, Aaliyah Boston, and a few others, all set up by Clark. Now, we can't put an exact number on those almost assists. They're not official stats. A miss is still a miss on paper. But watch the film, and the point still stands. Clark kept creating good looks that her teammates just couldn't finish. And that matters, because assists are one of the sneakiest stats to judge a point guard by. The box score only counts the pass when the shot drops. It says nothing about how good that shot actually was. So if Clark's sitting at 10 assists officially, that's already big. But the tape says the real number, the real playmaking load, was even bigger. And that sets up the next twist, because while Clark was busy running the offense, another storyline was quietly building around Kelsey Mitchell's hot streak.
Chicago, where we are forcing it to make sure she gets 20. Kelsey Mitchell should not have played the whole second half. She didn't have to play every minute of the second half. Why is Caitlin Clark getting subbed out when she got 17 in the quarter and she's carrying the team, but Kelsey Mitchell was staying in? Because y'all wanted her to get that damn 20 points. Let's be real here.
Now here's the theory floating around, that Indiana was quietly protecting Kelsey Mitchell's shot at a 20-point night. That's speculation, not confirmed fact, and we can't say for sure that's what the coaching staff was thinking. But the rotation itself, fair to question. Clark had just torched the third quarter for 17 points. Mitchell stayed on the floor. Then Clark got pulled, and Mitchell kept playing. Since Mitchell only needed a handful more points to hit her own 20-point mark, people naturally started connecting the dots. Let's be clear about something though. Wanting a player to reach a milestone isn't automatically some shady move. Coaches juggle 100 reasons for lineup decisions, and we don't see what happens behind closed doors. But when the player having the best stretch of the game gets pulled while someone else stays in to chase a number, fans are going to notice, especially with the game still up for grabs. And that's exactly what pushes us into the MVP conversation.
And Kelsey, the difference that you saw tonight, even with Paige Beckers going to get you 6 rebounds, 5 assists, do this, do. Everybody else that's in the MVP has to do some of everything. Kelsey Mitchell is the only person that gets away with just doing one thing, and that's it. Caitlin Clark, 29 points, 10 assists. All the other MVP candidates, A'ja Wilson getting 20-some points, 12 rebound. Everybody else is doing other stuff. She the only one required just to keep jacking up shots.
Here's the biggest criticism thrown at Kelsey Mitchell in this whole debate. Nobody says she can't score. She clearly can. The real question is what she brings to the table when her shot isn't falling. Against Dallas, she walked away with 23 points, but look past the total and the number gets shaky fast. 9 makes on 21 attempts, and just 1 3 out of 7 tries. Meanwhile, Clark was doing everything else: scoring, dishing, crashing the glass, playing defense, creating advantages just by putting the ball on the floor. That's the real split this game exposes. A scorer can still be valuable without being the most complete player on the floor. Those are two very different conversations. And for comparison, look at Dallas's Paige Bueckers, who put up 29 points, 6 boards, and 6 assists. Love her or debate her MVP case, that kind of stat line is exactly what's expected from a modern lead guard today. And that's the exact type of versatility Clark's whole night was built around. Here's something that gets buried under the 29-point headline. Clark had chances to push for 30, maybe even more, and instead she kept setting up her teammates. Now, we can't say for certain she was deliberately turning down points just to get Mitchell to 20. But watch the tape, and you'll see it clearly. Clark kept feeding teammates in scoring position while staying efficient herself. That's exactly why her assist number carries so much weight. She didn't need to control every single possession to control the entire game. She'd attack, force the defense to collapse, then turn that pressure into an open look for someone else. The scoring line alone was impressive, but her actual influence on the game went way beyond what the stat sheet shows. Now check the efficiency gap. Clark shot 11 for 18 from the field, hit 2 of 8 from deep, scored 29, and turned the ball over just once. That last stat matters a lot, because ball security has been one of the most common criticisms thrown at her game all season. So when a high-usage playmaker turns in a one-turnover night, that's not a small detail. That's real evidence pushing back against the narrative. Now compare that to Mitchell's 23 points on 9, 4, 21 shooting, including 1, 4, 7 from 3. So this isn't just about who scored more. Clark scored more efficiently while running the entire offense on top of it. This is exactly why judging a game only by total points can be misleading. Look at points alone and the gap seems small. Add in shooting efficiency, playmaking, and turnovers, and the full picture becomes a lot clearer. But Indiana didn't win this one off Clark alone. Someone else quietly shifted the whole tone of the night. Ty Harris came off the bench and went a perfect 5 for 5 from 3 for 15 points. That's the kind of shooting that changes the entire structure of a game, because now Dallas can't load up every defender on Clark while another shooter is torching them from deep. Aaliyah Boston chipped in 16 points and 10 rebounds, though her finishing was shaky in stretches, several missed layups that, on another night, could have padded Clark's assist total even higher. And on the other side, Dallas wasn't exactly rolling over. Bueckers dropped 29 points, 6 boards, 6 assists, and Eric Ogunbowale scored 20, even if it wasn't her cleanest shooting night. This wasn't some lopsided mismatch. Indiana had to beat a Dallas squad packed with real scoring threats. In the end, the Fever pulled it off, 98-87, and the real separation came after halftime. That's when the game turned into a statement. Just look at how Clark got her points. She wasn't parked behind the arc waiting for catch-and-shoot looks. She was curling off screens, driving downhill, finishing through contact, pulling up mid-range, threading passes, and even jumping into passing lanes on defense. That range is exactly why she's such a nightmare to guard once she gets rolling. Take away the 3, and she'll blow past you. Step up on the drive, and a passing window opens right up. Chase her over a screen, and now the pull-up jumper is live. The defense is stuck making an impossible choice every single time down the floor. And that's exactly why the third quarter mattered so much. Clark didn't just quietly rack up points in some low-pressure stretch. She took the game over while Bueckers was cooking on the other end, turning it into a straight-up head-to-head between two of the league's most electric young guards. That's the kind of performance Indiana needed from its star. Not just a big number, but full control of the game. And this next part explains why the performance felt even bigger than the final score. Clark was making reads faster than Dallas could react. Sure, everyone remembers the step-back 3. That's the highlight everybody clips. But it's the possessions around it that really tell the story. She was shifting speeds, attacking mismatches, and forcing Dallas to defend every level of the floor at once. That's the real difference between a hot shooting night and an actual takeover. Anyone can catch fire from deep for a stretch and then vanish once the shots stop falling. Clark's night wasn't built on one single weapon, and going head-to-head with Bucher's only made that more obvious. Bucher's was putting up her own 29-point night, sure, but Clark was carrying the extra weight of running Indiana's entire offense at the same time. This wasn't just a scoring duel for her. She was trying to make the whole team function. And that's exactly the heart of the MVP argument. It's not just about who put up the biggest number. It's about who impacted the most parts of actually winning the game. Then comes one more piece of evidence that flips the whole narrative. Clark setting up Mitchell for a backdoor bucket that helped her reach 20 points. That single play pushes back hard against anyone calling this a selfish scoring outing. Even after she'd already taken over the entire game, she was still hunting for ways to get her teammates involved. And that circles us right back to the question we started with. Was Clark pulled from the game to manage her minutes? Was it just a standard rotation call? Or was there some other reason that had nothing to do with Mitchell's hot streak? Honestly, there isn't enough here to say for certain. But there's more than enough to keep asking why that rotation looked the way it did, right in the middle of Clark's best stretch of the entire night. And that's an important line to draw. Questioning a coaching decision is completely fair. Turning that question into a confirmed motive is not. Which brings us to the bigger takeaway from this whole game. Indiana beat Dallas 98-87. But honestly, the final score almost feels secondary to what this performance says about the Fever's real ceiling. Clark closed with 29 points and 10 assists on 11-4-18 shooting. Mitchell added 23. Boston posted a 16 and 10 double-double. Harris dropped 15 off the bench, shooting a perfect night from deep. Indiana got contributions from all over the roster, and that's exactly what makes a team dangerous. But make no mistake, Clark is still the engine driving all of it. When she scores, defenses collapse. When defenses collapse, passing lanes open up. When teammates knock those shots down, her assist number climbs even higher. And when defenses try to stay glued to shooters, that just opens the floor for her to attack even more. That's a problem you simply cannot solve by throwing one defender at her. So now the real question is whether Indiana can keep this balance going. The next matchup becomes the real test, because one huge night doesn't settle an MVP debate, and it definitely doesn't prove a team's long-term ceiling. What this game does is raise the bar. If Clark keeps stacking elite scoring with elite playmaking and rock-solid ball security, it's going to get harder and harder to argue against her based on reputation alone. And if Indiana keeps getting efficient nights from the rest of the roster around her, this team stops looking like a squad waiting for one superstar to bail them out, and starts looking like a real threat. So here's the question for you. After watching this performance, is Caitlin Clark the clear-cut MVP of this Indiana team right now? Or does Kelsey Mitchell's scoring still give her a real case? Drop your take in the comments, and let's argue it out. And if you want more breakdowns just like this one, make sure you like this video, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss the next one.